Good morning, guys, and thank you for your time this morning. So, imagine being able to keep in touch with family members, friends, loved ones, all while doing it anytime, anywhere you want, even if they're in the next city over or halfway around the world. And also imagine while keeping in touch with them, you're able to keep yourself mentally sharp and also emotionally happier. Well, stop imagining, because Facebook does all this and more. Okay. Now, why do you want to know how to use Facebook? I'll tell you 3 different reasons. First off, over 65 million people your age group are already embracing social networking. They're using things such as Facebook to keep in touch with family members and friends. Second off, with embracing social networking, Facebook is not only the most popular in your age group, but also the easiest to use. And lastly, too, when you embrace social networking, keep in touch with family members, friends, loved ones in general, it keeps you emotionally happier. And it also keeps you mentally sharp, because when you use the internet, you think constantly. Like when you talk with somebody, you constantly are using your mind to think of what to say, what to do. So it keeps you healthier. So first off, I'm going to teach you in this speech how to set up and use Facebook. And there's 3 different ways I'm going to do this. The first way is actually registering and setting up your Facebook profile and account. The second one is actually navigating your way around Facebook so you know exactly where you're going. Lastly, after you have everything set up, after you know where you're going, you know how to use it, right? So you get those benefits. So I'm going to show you those 3 things throughout the speech, and it's pretty simple. It's a basics class, so I'm going to make sure I don't go too in-depth. First off, how do you register for Facebook and set up your account? First off, you need to have a valid email address. Now, if you don't know what email is or how to use it, Ricky has a good class this afternoon throughout the week to teach you how to set up Gmail. So I recommend you take a look at his class before you learn how to use Facebook here. But let's just say you know what email is, you know how to use it, you have an account. What you got to do first, go to Facebook. Go to their homepage, facebook.com. Express your interest in registering for Facebook. So you click on a link, you give your email address, they'll send you a verification link, a little blue link in your email, and from there, you click it, and it'll send you right to Facebook's page saying, okay, you're verified, you're registered. So now they have an account of which to set up with them. You got to start putting information in, so that people know who you are and they can find you. So in order to do that, it will tell you step by step how to do your information. Like it'll ask you for your name, gender, a little bio, things you want to kind of let them know about yourself, things you're willing to share with your family members and friends, and maybe others who want to find you on Facebook. And you can also post things like pictures and video. It's a little more advanced, but again, just things you can do. So many things you can do just with your profile alone on Facebook. Now, when you actually set up with Facebook, you have your information in. Now you actually want to kind of find your way around, which leads to my second point. In navigating Facebook, every time you log in, every time you want to see what's going on Facebook with your family members and friends, you're brought to your home page, like your profile, your wall, which I'll get to a little bit later, photos about you, etc., etc. Well, on the top of that page, there's different tabs. I'm going to go over 4 basic ones. There's so many more you can go over, but again, basics class, so I want to just go over what you can do to start communicating. First off is a news feed. News feed basically is exactly how it sounds. Whatever your family members, friends post, whatever they do to their accounts, whatever things they add visually, like pictures, video, and stuff, it's all there for you to see in real time. So that way you know who did what, when, and you don't have to try to keep tabs. It's a lot easier. And speaking of posted items, there's actually a tab for posted items, so you can simply just see what's been added by who. That way you know, okay, they added this, they said that, and I can actually read and enjoy without having to try to find each person individually. Again, after that, there's also the Photos tab, which is exactly how it sounds. It's a Photos album, so you actually get to have your pictures. There's also video you can see there too, so you can literally see what your family members and loved ones have been up to lately. And then lastly is also a Status tab, which basically shows the status of what your friends and family have been doing on Facebook to their account. So that way you can see, okay, you've added this friend, oh, I know this person, I can add them to me as well, and other things with their account as well. Now, again, there's more to look at Facebook, but those 4 will help you with communicating with your family members and friends. So this leads to my third thing. How do you actually use Facebook? Well, first off, the whole point of you even using Facebook in the first place is to keep in touch socially with family members and friends. And the first thing you got to do is find your loved ones. And it's very simple. All you got to do is go to a little box on the top right of the screen. You type in their name first and last. It'll have a list of all the people that you may know in your life, their friends. It's amazing how many people you can actually find while you're searching, not only just for your loved ones, but also who they know and to meet. So let's say you find your grandson. Once you find your grandson on there, you simply click his name, and you can invite or request to be friends with him on Facebook, even though you are a family member. And when you send it, he has the invitation. He can either accept, hopefully not reject, but accept you. And when he does accept you, you'll get a notification saying, okay, I've actually been accepted as a friend, so I can keep in communication with my grandson, no matter what time of day it is or where he's at. And when you actually add him, then you keep him on your friend. You have like a friends list where it actually shows all the different family members and friends who are following you following them to keep in communication. And the same thing can happen the other way around. They can actually keep in communication with you. They can, or actually they can add you as a friend. They can look for you, find your name, find your picture, and add you as a family member or friend to their Facebook account to keep in communication with you. And so why it's very important to keep your profile up to date. And speaking of communication, there's 3 different things you can do to communicate. Again, the basics. Number 1, as I mentioned earlier, there's a wall. A wall is basically like this whiteboard over here. Whenever you write something down there, whatever you put on there is for others to see. Whether it's your family member, friend, whatever, however many you want to see on your wall, they'll see it there. And not only do you have a wall, but so does your family members and friends. They actually have places where they can write messages, write things about what's going on in their lives, whatever it is that's on their mind, what's going on in their life. And not only do they have a wall they can post on, it also works the other way around. You can write stuff on their wall, they can write stuff on your wall. It's simply just messages for everybody to see, keeping it easier and simpler, keeping communication with not just one person, but everybody you know on Facebook. Now, to get a little more personal, if you say, let's say your grandson or your granddaughter is online on Facebook and you want to talk with them right away. They have a thing called Facebook Chat, which is instant messaging. Now, instant messaging is exactly how it sounds. The instant I'm talking with my words right now, you're hearing me. Well, it's the same thing with text and instant messaging. Basically, you type down this little window for Facebook Chat, what you want your family members and friends to actually, I guess, hear you say, even though they're reading it, in text form. So, on the other side of the internet, I guess you can say, when they're getting your message, they'll read it, and it's almost like a conversation. Whatever they read or hear from you, they'll talk back with you, type in their message to you. So it kind of works both ways, instant messaging like you're talking with them, or chat, as they call it. Lastly, there's also, let's say they're not available to talk online right now, but you really want to kind of get something across them, and you want to be more personal rather than being seen by everybody on a wall. You can use an inbox, which is kind of like the email thing I was talking about earlier, except it's just for Facebook. So you send a message to a friend or a family member, and if they're not available online, they'll see it later in their inbox, read it, kind of like a letter what you send via the post office to whoever your recipient is. They'll read it, and they'll send it back to you in their convenient timing. So you're keeping communication with each other, even though the time may not always be perfect to talk real time with them. Now again, there's so many other things you can do in Facebook. It's an amazing social networking tool, but with the time I have right now, I can only go over just the basics of that. With that said, bringing it all together here, I talked about the importance of Facebook, why you should learn it, and why you should use it. I taught you how to set up and use and register for Facebook. I taught you how to also navigate your way around Facebook so you know where you're going. And lastly, I taught you also how to actually use Facebook to start getting that benefits that over 65 million people your age group are getting the benefits from now. So now that you know, get out there, start finding your family members, your friends, keep yourself mentally and emotionally happier, and keep in touch. And I hope to see you guys on Facebook pretty soon. Thank you.